All right, and here is another grim day recording, and here is another victim of the crime beast. And what's written about this? This is not in Jamaica, but it's one of our good old Jamaican citizens that, even when outside of the island, yeah, they can unfortunately can still feel the sting of that very monster that is that never goes hungry. So this falls on Jolesia Fairweather, and from what I'm reading, even though they're not really saying much, this is most likely a crime of passion. So, the shooting death of 34-year-old Jolesia Fairweather in Prince George County, Maryland, in the U.S. has left the family's members devastated. All right, and families go on to say they're feeling this thing is lost very hard, and as they should. So, according to a report in the Washington Post, police officers responded to a shooting at a home on Maryland Park Drive in Capitol Heights about 7:50 a.m. this past Sunday. And when they arrived, they found Fairweather, who had just been shot. And unfortunately, when they took her to the hospital, she became the crime demon's latest victim. Yeah, you don't need me to spell out what I meant when I said that last part. Now, who did this dastardly, despicable act? Well, relates to what I was saying about crime of passion, cause the report first said that 37-year-old Orville Dean-Fairweather, her husband, is a suspect and had been taken into custody after they apparently found evidence that he's the one behind the trigger. And he's in charge of first and second degree murder in relation to the incident. All right, now. So according to what our family members who's not been named said, both the couple were not living together at the time. The family members claim she'd gone to meet him on Saturday, only to hear she'd been shot the following morning. I can read in between the lines when I hear that. So now what makes it sadder is that the late Miss Fairweather leaves behind a 17-year-old son from a previous relationship. Let's hope the dad from her first son is in the relationship, her first child's in a relationship, and she leaves behind two daughters that she had with her would-be killer, who are 5 and 4 months old. So those poor little babies are going to grow up with their mother and also without their father, from what the evidence is indicating. So 3 kids lost a mother, 2 of them lost a mother and a father. And yes, and what made was the son was already aware of the tragedy, and then they have to break it down to his two little siblings who again are going to be having some psychological scars going forward. No, the deceased woman, her father and her brother flew to Maryland to take custody of the children. So it means that he is going to be, don't know what the dad from the first relationship. I don't know what the case is with him. Hopefully he's there in the first son's life. But it's good that the father, her brother and her father are stepping up and are going to be there in their time of need. So let's hear what else we can gather from this. So, no, the late Jolesia Fairweather was a dental assistant when came to the U.S. when she was 11 years old. But I have been a frequent visitor to the island since her adult years. It is during those that she met her husband, who hails from Samuel Prospect, also in the parish, and they got married together in 2013. So that's almost 10 years ago. All right, so basically, say when she came to Jamaica, fell in love, married, and after Trump filed for him. So I can just imagine that during that time they were together. It's like almost 10 years that they probably had ups and downs in the relationship, because I'm willing to bet that they were probably having some domestic violence issues. Wouldn't be surprised to turn up maybe that I'm just taking some guesses because I don't know. I'm just hearing about this right now. Is that this? I can guarantee you this was not a very what's the word I'm looking for? That there was more to this than that is being reported. Alright, because I'm going to bet that Orville and Jolesia pretty much had a very violent relationship. I wouldn't be surprised that Orville probably smacked her around a little bit times, and I wanted to bet that probably that they were been on and off for a while, maybe they had a tumultuous relationship, and she kept taking him back. Because I can guarantee you that she was that I guarantee you that um okay, I can guarantee you that she was sorry not to start my words, but I can guarantee you that that probably he's put hands on her, because I'm reading some more stuff, all right, about this though, but this wasn't there are a lot of things that led up to him shooting her dead, because and I'm willing to bet that this guy most likely was a killer simp, and that this guy probably just saw her as nothing more than his property, and chances are she probably wanted to leave him. Maybe they tried to reconcile, and she probably said, you know what, this dude ain't shit. I'm just going to leave this guy. And they said, if I can't have you, no one else can. All right, and I'm just trying to read what else is said about this, because Jamaica Observer, which I'm getting this from, is not really saying anything about this, about what, because there's much more to this story than that was saying. It's not a case of, oh, they were married, she went to meet him, and then he shoots her like that. There are a lot of other stuff that led up to this, what was happening. There are a lot of microcosms that culminated in murdering her, and I can guess that it was a very violent relationship. I can, just like with what's that name, Wayne Chambers, and was the other woman that lady who was that he was with on and off. Yeah, even though they're not saying it, but you can just tell that there was a very violent relationship. Sandra McIntosh. Yeah, that was his name was, Sandra McIntosh. Yeah, and yeah, even though they didn't spell it out, but they had a pretty much tumultuous relationship, which has been on and off. And from what people are saying in the circle with Dwayne Chambers, that Wayne Chambers used to put hands on Sandra McIntosh on various occasions, but she'd always come back to him, and to the point where maybe she realized that it was too late, that this relationship was beyond salvaging, and Wayne Chambers just killed her in a crime of passion. I can most likely guess that Orville Fairweather was on the same tip as Dwayne Chambers, that he was probably one of those guys that's rough around the edges. Jolesia Fairweather thought that she could change him, even though she had two kids with him. I can guarantee her oldest son from her first married relationship probably saw some things that he wished he hadn't seen. He probably saw his stepdad put hands on his mom, and I'm pretty much guarantee you that guarantee you that Jaleesa, despite the fact that most likely Orville was smacking her around, didn't leave him, and then probably at the time when they were trying to reconcile, she probably wanted to decide to leave him and say, no, 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 that's it between, okay, see, if I can't have you, no one else can. Could I be wrong about this? Could this not be another Wayne Chambers, Sandra McIntosh? It could be very well be. It could be very well that there's much more to the story that we know, because there definitely is, but usually a lot of recordings I do on stuff like this is usually usually when a spouse murders their significant other, is usually because that they're at a very volatile, tumultuous relationship in which the abused spouse refused to leave the abusive spouse, and then when they finally get the courage to leave, yeah, the abusive spouse just takes them out just like that. I can guarantee I'm likely going to be right on this, but we'll see how it goes. But rest in peace, this woman. Didn't know her, and my prayers especially go out to her children who are now going to go forward out to mother. And like I said, and condolences to our friends and family members who are grieving at this point. And I hope justice is done. Justice is done, because if the husband it did do it, and it looks like all indication he did. Yeah, put him in a jail cell with bread and water for his daily repast. And that's all I have to say. This was State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Goodson Farron, Miles Productions with Thoughts of Miles. Alright.